We are explaining the process of creating the notification by the notification by whether by circle or directorate. So regarding the notification process, there are two levels of process. One is user. Normally, user will create the draft notification by giving all the inputs. So after submitting, after the candidate is user is submitting, preparing the draft notification and submitting to it has to submit to supervisor of the office. So after supervisor have to log in and he has to approve the request submitted by the user. So normally, if it is a circle office, OA or ASP may work as a user, and the credential will start with DU. Okay. Then if his supervisor has to approve, he has to log in with DA. Okay, that is a process. Now I am explaining practically how it will proceed. So as a normal thing, he has to click on everything, and they have to click on admin login. So in this admin login, as a user, circle ASP or Directorate ASP or AOA, they have to log in as user. For that, they have to type as start prefix with DU, and as a trial training, I am taking Kerala Circle as a demo. So I am putting a Kerala Circle facility. So I am putting the password, and if I clicking on valid correct password and clicking on OTP, I will be able to get the OTP. So I have to type OTP. So I have to log in. So
your authentication is successful.
This is a login option available for the user notification. User which is required. This is only information. This is not a Directorate user. This is a role in which the user can able to submit the notification. There are three options: submit, draft notification. So notification as yes, he will prepare the draft notification and submit. Then he can able to view the status of the notification. And if in case of supervisor is returning the request, if any omissions, he can able to do. So at the time, you can use this option. First is first I'm going through submit draft notification. So the user has to select for which exam. So I am taking a exam sample as GDS2, MTS2 Postman, and I am selecting a year. For trial, I am selecting as 2019, for which year notification is to be issued. If I am clicking on fetch, this template will be shown. This template is prescribed by the prescribed by the Directorate. We are showing here. They have to type the notification number. So as it is a Kerala Circle, I am putting some reference, file reference, 19 bar DDS something. What are the reference your standard procedure you have to maintain that you have to give. And you have to give when a notification is issued has to be planned by the circle when the date of notification you have to enter. I am entering as 17204. And when the as per the Directorate, this template is freeze, so all the input has to be prepared accordingly. So first is when application has to be live for the candidate. That date you have to type. So I am putting example as 372024. So validation is built in this application that if the user is typing something wrongly or is invalid, so if you're getting correct only, that red color will get changed. Otherwise, it will show in red color only. So user has to be clear that if it is showing red color, they have to correctly correct it. Okay. So here it has to start from 00 hours. So the live has to be start from 00 hours. So when the application last date, that will be done. Type 2024. That end date normally should be midnight. So we 23:59 is the last time of submission the application. So this is the time in which candidate, before that the candidate has to be submitted. It is not that candidate can log in at 25, system has to allowed. It will not allowed. Okay, then verification, what is the last date? Okay, normally in this process, this is only for just a reference only, but system will not restrict the controlling authority to to verify the application. Whenever candidate submit his application, immediately controlling authority can able to verify the application. This is a timeline so that we can restrict the controlling authority keeping the pending case. So the timeline for completing the verification, that is the last application to be verified, that is before. I am putting some date as a sample. I am typing as 23:59. So before that, controlling authority has to complete verification of all submitted application. So then there is a timeline for a candidate that will be at last date. Last time also controlling authority can able to return the application for supply. So to resubmit the application, the timeline for candidate is we have to enter, that is 23:59. But same thing, as I explained, there is no required that candidate only can able to make action only this day. As per the agreed instructions given by the Directorate, it is understood that whenever the controlling authority returns the application on any date, immediately candidate can able to resubmit. This is only the grace period for which the resubmission date before this the candidate has to resubmit. But there is no restriction that earlier process that only during some particular period only at the time only candidate that process has been removed. So whenever controlling authority is returning the application within any dates from 3 to from the start of 3 date, and controlling authority return on 4th itself, immediately candidate will get the message and he can able to resubmit on any of the date within this timeline. Then same thing, timeline for re-verification, application resubmitted by the candidate, that is for controlling authority. Then approval of online, that is for nodal officer. Nodal officer, when that application has to approve, that timeline has to be given. So before that, nodal officer has to complete the timeline. So then allotment of center, that nodal officer has to complete within this timeline. So everything I am typing as a sample data. So based on your Directorate instruction and your higher authority instruction, you can differentiate the input the timeline. It is for sample I am giving one day. It is not that within 1 day it should be done. Then candidate to download. Available means whenever nodal officer is mapping the exam center and controlling authority, immediately candidate will get the message and event. So just for information, for record purpose, we are getting updating the admit card last date. So then, as per this exam, only 2 papers are there. So paper 1, what is the timeline? What is the date? That so that this data will be reflected in the admit card. So I am typing as an example 2/4, 10 hours. 11:30 hours. Then on the same, normally it will be on the same date. If it is IB exam, it will be done different dates. So based on that, they can type. And the main thing is, sir, for which vacancy year the examination is different. Which year they are conducting exam, and for which year vacancy has to be. So the vacancy year to be, if it is a multiple vacancy year, the user has to select multiple year. If it is for 1 year, they have to select only 1 year. If it is a multiple year, they have to select accordingly. This vacancy year can be calculated. The same will be available for the candidate application to get the eligibility and all. Both will be taken care of by the system. So as a sample, I am selecting only 2024. So there is a preview option so that when all inputs given correctly and there is no red color, then only this preview button, otherwise the preview button will not be enabled. So sometimes if anything is going wrong, so user can come back and they can input the data once again, and until they are clearing, user cannot able to proceed further. So there is a preview option so that it will show entire what are the inputs given. The user has to check all the inputs whether it is coming correctly or not. So after ensuring, he has to click on if any issues there, he can click on close preview, and he will come back and he will make necessary correction, and again click on preview, and he can able to submit the request notification to the supervisor. So this is the thing.
Your notification has been submitted successfully.
To the control supervisor. So if user want to see that application generated or not, then he can able to come back and see that automatically that will be shown in this. So that means the user has been there is an user can able to see the thing. There is two options in the menu. We are given some tabs. How much application is pending with supervisor, how much notification issued, how much notification cancelled. Everything they can user can able to see. So if they want to see, the user has to see the detail. If they click on that, the same preview will be screened.